Good afternoon, everyone. It's Nick from Claret and Booze. I hope you're all well. Welcome to my daily ramble. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Drop a like on the video because it does really, really help us. This is a breaking news video. It's been a complete roller coaster of emotions for me today. I've struggled with this fucking farce that I'm on at the moment. I've kind of hit a bit of a plateau today. I've really struggled with energy and stuff like that. And the news that's been going on and on and on. I've been making phone calls to sort of clarify whether this is the case, whether it is Lopetegui. I arrived at the stage about an hour ago where I was convinced by a few people that it was done and dusted. Lopetegui is coming in, and that's it. There's no one else. There is no one else. But I've got an update on this. Before I get there, David Moyes, as we know, is gone. Now, we spoke about it should be announced before the end of the season. Apparently, it's going to be announced this week. So it's going to be announced that David Moyes is leaving before the Luton game. So that means that West Ham fans can proceed and give David Moyes a send-off, and we can all relax and enjoy the Luton game and, enjoy the Man City game, or try to anyway. So that's good. That's good. So that is done. Finished. No more David Moyes talk. Next manager. Right. Fabrizio Romano broke earlier on, as did X, as did Ornstein. They've come out saying that the contracts with Lopetegui is done. It's sorted, awaiting to be formalised. That much is true, but it's not as far along as what people have said. Now, the Lopetegui camp are trying to put pressure on Sullivan to get the deal done. That was what the AC Milan link was all about last week, and that's what the Bayern Munich link is about now. It's very much, you better sign me, mate, or, I'm going to go to Bayern Munich. No, you're not. Sullivan is interested. He is on the list. So Lopetegui is on the list. He is, he's thought of as a very experienced manager. If they do, if it comes to a point where they've got to take that route, he's there. So that side of it has been confirmed again to me just now. I went onto the community section earlier on. I apologised to everyone because I was so convinced that it was done. I was convinced that, oh, fuck me, it's definitely Lopetegui. This was a plan all along. Well, it's not. Lopetegui has been interviewed. They've spoken about terms. They've agreed, but nothing has been done. So it's still ongoing. It is still ongoing. Nothing's off the table. I know what Amarim has said. Don't forget, these people do tend to do that. Declan Rice, before he left us and stuff like that, he's got a cup final coming up, Amarim. It might be a little bit of a different story after the cup final, All we've got to do is trigger his release clause anyway. That's all we've got to do, and then we can talk to him. But it's not just him. There's others as well, and I know that there are agents out there actively still looking for replacements in correspondence with Tim and Sullivan. So, yes, the Lopetegui deal is not done. I've been up and down. I was on the floor about an hour ago. I was fucking thinking, fucking hell, really? Because it's everything that comes along with that as well. If all along it was just Sullivan was just going to go and get this guy in, well, it doesn't look like that's the case. It does, as I said last night, it does look like that is probably going to be the nuclear option if they can't get anyone else. Which is nonsense because there's loads of managers out there. Look at Iriola at Bournemouth. His contract's up this year. So there's plenty of managers out there. This is not over yet. It's not. So the press are going to drive us all mad. They've driven me mad today. So I said to you last night, don't be affected by the press because it's going to be a whirlwind. The agents are aggressive. It's going to be constant all the time. Misinformation coming out from all of the best sources. Until it's done, it's not done. So as it stands at the moment, they are still looking for and vetting suitable managers to replace David Moyes. That's what I'm told. And I'm assured that there has been no decision made on Lopetegui, and this has come from the very best source. Okay? It's come from the very best source. So, yes, we shall see what happens. I just thought I'd give you a quick update because I've been on a bit of a spiral today, and I know probably West Ham fans have as well. So at the moment, all is not lost. And look, let's face it, if Lopetegui comes in, we'd have to get behind him. We would, but it's not what we want. We wanted a change, not just a change of manager, but a change of direction. I don't feel that Lopetegui represents that. I think I say his name different every time I say it. I don't think he represents that. But look, if it happened, it happened. Then of course, as you know, we would. You'd have to just hope and pray that he adheres to what the fan base want, and and tries to align himself with us. I did watch an interview with him on a Wolves podcast earlier on, and he's definitely got more personality than Moyes. But it's not what I want. It really isn't. I don't think it'd be good. I don't think he would get any time whatsoever. Whoever comes in next season, they've got a massive rebuild on their hands. They're going to need some time, especially if you're going to implement new players with a new philosophy, change of style. It's going to take a little bit of time to bed in. I don't think someone like Lopetegui, when you look at how the fan base have already turned on him, I don't think he'll get any time whatsoever. I just don't think he will. So it's a bad move all around. They've got to go in a different direction from him. I really hope that they still do. So yes, I know that what everyone's saying, people ain't lying. You know, the Lopetegui, he's the one. He's the one that's kind of he's the closest to it at the moment because he's the furthest along, if that makes sense. So he's agreed terms, but they are not making a decision until they've got options. At the moment, he's the only option that they've got. Well, him and one other. We know the other one is. So, but they are still actively looking for alternatives as well. So we will see what happens. Keep the faith, Hammers. All right, keep the faith. Sorry to the community members earlier on as well. You know, I admitted defeat. I said sorry to you all. It looks like I might not have had to have said sorry after all. It's just caught me cold today. I've been wrapped up in all the media stuff. I've had a few phone calls that have convinced me that it's done. So yeah, it isn't. It's not. It hasn't. So I'm just gonna have to learn not to shoot from the hip so quickly. You know, get me facts straight first. So no, what I said last night, it does still stand. He's still the nuclear option. Could still happen, but it ain't set in stone. Cabin you heads.